So let's try to practice this, see some example with this rule. If we have, it says without using calculator, we want to decide what will be the sign of these trigonometric ratios. We don't care about the number, we just care about the sign. So tan 280 degrees. So first thing we'll have to decide is 280 degrees falls under which quadrant. This is 0 degrees, 90 degrees, 180, 270 and 360. Again 0, 90, 180, 270, 360. So 280 is little bit more than 270. So that's basically in fourth quadrant. In fourth quadrant, because cos is positive, meaning that tan will be automatically negative. So sign here will be negative. Okay. Cos 160 degrees. 160 degrees will fall under second quadrant. In second quadrant, cos only sign is positive, meaning cos and tan are negative. So cos 160 degrees will be negative. Okay. Now sine 205 degrees. Sine 205 degrees will fall under third quadrant. In third quadrant, only tan positive, so sine and cos are negative. So then this will be a negative. Now reciprocals follow same rules. So cot 210 degrees, because it falls under second quadrant, because it's in the second quadrant, tan negative there, so cot will also be negative there. Okay. Very similarly, cosecant negative 210. Negative angles go in counterclockwise direction. So it's 0, negative 90, negative 180. I go up by 90s every time. So negative 270. So negative 210 is in the second quadrant. Because in second quadrant sine is positive and cosecant is reciprocal of sine, this will be positive here. And lastly, secant 459 degrees. So 0, 90, 180, 270, 360. After 360, if we add 90 more to it, it will be 450, and 459 will be in the second quadrant. Because secant is reciprocal of cos and cos is negative in the second quadrant, this will also be negative here. Okay, so that will be a negative. Let's see some more examples. Let's see if we want to solve. So for the given values, determine the quadrants in which terminal side of the angle lies. So we only need to check which quadrants. We don't need to solve yet. We just want to find out which quadrants this happens in. So we use cast rule again. So let's see for this one here. The first one is cos negative 0.5783. So let's quickly sketch this. So we will sketch something like this. We will say, and then we write all S, T, C or C-A-S-T. Doesn't matter how you remember this. Now cos negative. So we know all are positive in the first quadrant. Sine positive here. So cos will be negative there. So that happens here. Cos will also be negative in the third quadrant and positive in the fourth quadrant. So in which quadrant? So our answer will be quadrant 2 and quadrant 3. So two quadrants, quadrant 2 and quadrant 3. Let's look at B here. We are asked where is sine positive. So all S, T, C. Sine all positive here. So sine will be positive here and sine is positive in the second quadrant. So it will be in quadrants 1 and quadrant 2. Let's see this one. Tan positive. So again we write C-A-S-T or all S-T-C, doesn't matter. We write something like this. In first quadrant all positive, so that's true. Tan negative here, tan positive here. So I'm looking here, tan positive. So that happens in quadrant 1 and quadrant 3. Okay. For this problem here now, we are asked to determine in which quadrant the terminal side lies in where both conditions are met. So again, we'll quickly sketch our chart here, write all S, T and C. Now we want to look for where is tan positive. So that tan is positive in quadrant 1 and quadrant 3. Now second condition is cos has to be negative. So between these two, cos is positive here, so that does not work. That's wrong answer then. Only one place where tan is positive and cos negative. So answer to A here will be quadrant 3. Only one answer. Let's look at this one. It says cos positive. So again we quickly sketch. We write all S, T, C. Cos is greater than 0. Greater than 0 means positive. So that's in these two quadrants. But now we want cosecant less than 0. Cosecant is reciprocal of sine. Sine theta less than 0. Sine theta is positive here, so that's not true. This is the case where cos theta positive and sine theta negative. Sine theta negative means cosecant negative. So this is the place where both conditions are met. So answer to this will be quadrant 4. Okay. Let's see C here. Again we will sketch. We will say all S, T and C. Now we want cosecant greater than 0, meaning cos, because cos and secant greater than 0. So meaning that cos greater than 0, because secant and cos are reciprocal. So that will basically happen again like last problem in this quadrant and this quadrant. And we want cosecant theta less than 0. Cosecant less than 0 mean sine theta negative. Sine is positive here, sine is positive here. Sine is positive here, so that does not work. This is the case where sine will be negative, like previous question. So this is similar to the previous one. Answer will be in quadrant 4. Okay. Let's look at this one. It says cot positive, meaning that tan positive. So that happens here, and that's all. And cosecant less than 0. Cosecant less than 0 means sine negative. So sine negative, this is sine positive, so that's not a good choice. So that will happen here. So the answer to this one will be quadrant 3. This is how we decide where those both conditions are met. So we can try doing both together, or we can just look at first one place where those two cases are, and then between those two cases which one works for the second condition. And that's how we will decide where the answer should be.